This is my left-hand door, well, the glass and the innards, and I've got some new felt coming hopefully today, so strip down what I think I need to and see how you get it in. I don't quite know how you're supposed to get this glass out at the moment, because this frame is fixed all the way around. There's no unbolting it anywhere. Let's see what this shows me. Piece of wood on the back there for some reason. Don't know what happens with that. This mechanism will probably slide out the side, will it? We'll get rid of some of that goo. Opportunity to clean that up as well. I just wonder how you get that felt in. Maybe push the glass all the way down to the bottom and oh, it'll slide out the bottom. There we go. Good. I'll see if I can clean this frame up, see what that looks like. What was confusing me is this. There's some metal. There's some extra metal in there. And there isn't at the top. That's just, can you see that? This is the top piece, and that's just a felt strip. But we've got a metal track in the metal track. And I don't know what we had here, because there's nothing left. Definitely a metal. This one's lined in metal, so that's different to the top. which the stuff I've come in is just the felt. I wonder what the purpose of that is. That's coming up quite nice. That's using got some fine steel wool and polishing compound. And it's quite a robust method, but to get rid of the years of grime and pitting. And that's actually coming up quite nice. That's pretty good and doesn't really scratch it. There we are, and that'll do for now. got the felt. This is it. It's 1 inch by a couple of mil. Had a dry run. That's just pushed in with no glue. So I'm just going to glue bottom of the channel and the middle of that. Use some Evo stick and push it in with this tool here. Right, see if I can make a mess of this. I've run a bead. It's really good in this tube here. You can run a nice bead and then brush it out. And down the centre of that as well. So see if I can get that in without too much trouble. Trying to build these doors up now. This is what I took off. This is actually off, I'm looking at the left hand door here. This actually came off the right hand door. I didn't have one on this. But this is a ceiling strip that goes between the door and the glass. But whether this is original, I don't know. I think it could be. But this is like a hard plastic. So the ceiling capabilities of this are pretty much zero, maybe just to stop the rattle, but that's more like a wing piping. Now this is what they send now. This is from David Manners, and this is like an L-shaped seal, which does fit on very nicely. Need gluing on, but going back to this first one, when it gets the quarter light, it actually twists and seals the opposite way, which you can't do with that stuff because it's like a left and a right. So I've cut it. That's the length of the door, and then I think it will glue like that, and it can continue underneath the quarter light. So we'll see if that works. Well, that doesn't work. I mean, it's glued alright, but the line I've bulged up on the where this corner is here, it ends up on the opposite side here, so that's no good. I'm just wondering if it would twist. I've got a spare one of these, let's try that. Well, that might work. That will seal along, probably can't actually see this, but then it has to lie flat under there. So I might be able to do something with that. Rear quarter light, this is another job I've been putting off. Once you get the black goo out, it goes everywhere. So tried it, and I think it's sort of going to be okay, but you can't really try it till you start fixing it all together. But quarter light, obviously, I marked where the screw holes are, just give me an extra reference, and it's taped up, stop it all falling apart. And the seal between the frame and the inside of the car, this is what they send you. And I believe you have to cut that in half because that's too fat as it is. And which bit do you use? Do you use a little D section or do you use the fat oblong section? Both fit. I've tried the oblong one, but there's a fair bit of trimming to get it to snug in. Then this sits on some piping, and this again is what they send you, which is too wide. So I've had to cut this much off. And I might need to cut a little bit more off, but I was hoping to put this underneath this stuff, but we'll see. And something else that's very useful, extra long drills. These are 3mm drills. It's very easy for the chuck of the drill to rub on the paintwork, so they're useful. Right, get the goo out and stick it on. Well, just as I predicted, goo everywhere. And you can't, well, I don't think you can't put this beading in till you put the window in. There's not enough room to get it over this, over the bead. But with this goo, it's quite slidey. It's quite a good lubricant, so you can actually put the bead in along the bottom, drop the glass in, and then feed it in as you go around. So a bit of cleaning up now. Right, door seal. This is the right hand door, and this is the seal I took off the car, which might be original, but it's like a hard plastic, so it's got some rigidity to it, and it's nailed on or screwed on. Anyway, so this is how it went on. This is the front end. So that nails down to the inside of the door, and then it twists, and that sits under the quarter light, and it's just held on, it seems, by sort of gravity. Now this is the one that David Manners supply, and it's just a simple sort of L-shaped rubber, but you can't twist that because the lips end up on the wrong side, and that doesn't seal anything. Well, it's not even a seal, it's just a piece of rubber. So the next one is this one that I've put here, and this is from Coventry Autos, and it's like a piping, but it's rubber. And although I've screwed that on fairly regularly, it's just all floppy and it just looks crap, absolute crap. So we'll try another one, and this was suggested by somebody on the forum, which I forget who, I'm afraid. This is a semi-rigid rubber, and this will take up, I think, something like ½ an inch gap. Well, in these doors here, you've got, well, you can get your fist down the side almost. So strip it down, put it on, and see what that looks like. But of course, like that new one, I can't twist it at this point. So I have to invent something there. Well, it's about a week later when I did that last bit of video. The top of this door was it's a bit lumpy on the edge there. I thought it'd be covered by the trim when I painted it. A bit lazy. Anyway, it wasn't, so I had to rub it back and paint it. That's the beauty of cellulose paint. You can just spray a bit on and cut it back. So I'm cut the end of this. I'll show you how I've cut it. So that square is where the upright for the window channel goes, and then I've just relieved it back a little bit there just to let that sail past the corner of the door. See if I can show you that. It doesn't quite cover that corner if you leave it flush, so if I do that, it'll just go past a little bit. I think that'll look better. So I'll offer up the frame and try and cut this square out for here. Trimmed up, ready to go. And I put some masking tape on the inside to mark the holes. So I don't want to be drilling holes next to where the old holes were, so these will be new. And I'm going to put some screen seal down on here before I fix it, because that was a particularly rusty area on my car, so if I can keep the water out, that'd be better. And nicely squidged on, and that comes off with some white spirits. That's that cleaned up, and where it comes here, this is under the quarter light now. I've got this quite a small piping which will continue from there. This is not the original piping from Coventry Autos. This is wing piping I had from another project from David Manners, and it's quite a nice small one. So some goo on there and some goo under the quarter light, and I'll put that on. And that looks tons better, and it does actually seal, which I didn't think it would, because the door is bowed and the glass is flat, but it does pretty much actually seal. And this piping here, although that screen seal is not really a glue, I think that will be sticky enough to hold that in place. But that piping actually matches this piping. I'll polish that door up. The paint's a bit soft at the moment, so I've just painted that top edge. I'll give that a couple of weeks and that'll polish up alright.